Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Dean.
And my name is Tyler, and we're back bringing you another champion review.
Another one. Yeah, we didn't have one last week because mid-season shit's coming up.
Yes,
But
and a lot of that stuff has changed too, which is kind of funny. But it's okay. It's okay. We're here this week with Lee Sin and Brand, two very old champions.
Surprise, surprise. Not many changes.
Right.
But, you know, Brand, I think, had a handful of changes. Lee Sin is literally the same champion. But, you know, that's just, no problem.
Right. No, the funniest thing is the fact that Lee Sin is, like, I think I say this every time we come across a champion that doesn't have any changes, but, like, as old as he is, being as relevant as he is. I always find that kind of stuff interesting. Being relevant, being able to be played, regardless of how old the kid is.
Yeah, and then you compare to, like, fucking Zeri or Yumi, who are
right.
much newer champions, and they've already undergone 4 million changes, and Riot
Right.
doesn't know what to do with them.
Oh, well, fuck them.
So yeah, Lee Sin and Brand. That's what we got today. But before that, of course, we want to shout out the YouTube guys. Come over here, make sure you're subbed to the YouTube channel. We got this is going up on Friday, so tomorrow, Saturday, we got another gameplay coming out. It is a game I was playing. It's a Sejuani game for me, and then Tyler's playing Milio. It's a pretty solid game.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that one.
Sweet.
Probably going to be streaming, or try to at least, this weekend sometime. Get that figured out. Make sure you're checking out all the shorts and stuff, guys. I think I was talking to Tyler about this. I think I'm going to slow down a little bit on the shorts, and there might be a chance people are getting kind of annoyed by how much we're uploading, and I guess you could say that's a good thing to upload so much, but like, I don't know, I've been reading a little bit into it, and might be able to tone it down a little bit, and maybe make shorts only for the previous day or the day of whatever the episode is, or gameplay.
Right.
I think that might be the thing to go.
I think if we get some good clips or submissions, but maybe we can throw that into the repertoire. Sure. But I know we don't get as many of those, so I agree. I think slow down a little bit so we're not fatiguing everybody.
Yep. So yeah, make sure you are subbed over here, guys, and let's get into Lee Sin. So yeah. Why don't you tell me what Chat GPT says?
Well, Chat GPT gave us a nice little bit about P Sin. It says here, P Sin is a popular champion in the online game League of Legends. He's a melee fighter and assassin, known for his high mobility and ability to make flashy plays. Lee Sin's kit revolves around his ability to quickly close the gap on enemies and deal burst damage. His Q ability, Sonic Wave / Resonating Strike, allows him to dash forward and strike an enemy, dealing damage and revealing them if they are hit. If he hits an enemy with Sonic Wave, he can activate his Q again within a few seconds to dash to them and deal additional damage with Resonating Strike. Lee Sin's W ability, Safeguard / Iron Will, allows him to shield himself or an ally and dash to them, making it a useful tool for both engaging and disengaging from fights. His E ability, Tempest / Cripple, deals area of effect damage and slows enemies hit. Finally, his ultimate ability, Dragon's Rage, allows him to kick an enemy champion in a targeted direction, dealing damage to them and knocking back any enemies they collide with. Lee Sin's playstyle is very aggressive and requires a lot of skill and experience to master. Players who can land his skill shots and make good use of his mobility and crowd control abilities can be very effective with him. He is often played as a jungler, but can also be seen played in other roles such as top lane or support. Due to his high skill ceiling, he is a popular pick among professional players and can be a strong pick in both solo queue and competitive play.
I am slapping the shit out of you if you lock in Lee Sin support.
Yeah, please don't ever do that shit, dude.
I mean, unless I know on ARAM he has insane healing and shielding buffs, and you could go AP support Lee on that, and the shields are pretty fat.
Right.
But no, yeah, if you're locking that in my ranked games, I'm sorry.
You're gonna get punched into next year. You're gonna get roundhoused by P Sin.
Yeah, you're gonna get dragon ranged. All right.
Yeah, this champion. So first off, is he marked as an assassin? He is a fighter assassin. Okay. He's a class. Well, his new class now is diver. His old class was fighter assassin. He shares diver with Hecarim, J4, and Vi. Very interesting. This is a non-mana using champion. He's an energy-based champion. Let's see. Just speaking of the ARAM buffs, he does get 20% healing and 20% shielding.
Yeah.
Then he deals 5% more damage and receives 5% less and gets 20% energy regen. So there you go.
Yeah, so no past versions.
No.
He's been around forever, like we said. He is probably one of the best, I think in my opinion, like mechanically intensive champions to watch in pro play. Because some of the plays are just insane. I mean, you think about the insect, like the player got a move made after, like the fucking ward hop, flash kick.
Right.
It's very flashy plays, literally, and he's. I feel like he definitely has a high skill ceiling because like it is really hard to like hit the flash kick or kick flash. Like you can fucking buffer it. Is that the right word? Yeah, you can buffer it a little bit. You gotta be, you know how to fucking ward hop well. You gotta be able to like. There's so many times where like the Lee Sin just comes in clutch, for your team, or especially. I mean, only thing I can really think of as a pro play is this. Like I think of closer. Closer's a really fucking good Lee Sin.
Yeah.
But always flashy, always fucking intense, and just like
his mobility and his ability to forcefully reposition the enemy team, I think is like key to his playstyle and to his victory. If he can get in, obviously the Dragon Rage, as they mentioned, is a knockback and does knock up other champions if you can get it through a line of champions. But he can forcefully reposition an ADC and pop up others, while doing so. If he can get, whether it's a ward hop or a Q flash behind, a double Q flash behind with a dragon kick, he probably has the flashiest plays in the game, which is great for a blind monk.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So let's get into it. We'll start with his passive, Flurry. Innate, after casting an ability, Lee Sin's next basic attacks within 3 seconds gain 40% bonus attack speed and restore energy. The first attack restores 20, 30, 40 based on levels, and that's levels 1, 7, and 13. And the second attack restores half of that amount. I feel like there's, in lower elos too, people don't realize that this is what his passive is, because like
this is where all of his damage comes from.
Yeah, like this is, you don't just, because all his abilities, obviously everyone knows Lee Sin. He has 2 like parts of each ability,
right?
And then each part counts for an ability. So you can Q if you're taking like your first buff, and if you're starting Q, so you Q 2 auto attacks, Q again 2 auto attacks. That's how you maximize the amount of damage and the energy that you're getting back, because that's really important.
Right.
Or like if you're taking turrets, like just you can Tempest cripple and get the bonus attack speed to get those couple attacks off.
Yeah, it's in fact, when we first started playing, I think Garrett was the one who explained it to me. He goes, don't just cast your abilities. It's ability, auto, ability, auto, ability, auto, ability, auto. And excuse me, that's how you get a shit ton of burst damage out, because that 40% attack speed really makes him attack at a very quick pace. And just with the way some of his abilities scale with missing health or current health or whatever, weaving those attacks in with the abilities and their second parts. I mean, he effectively has 7 abilities plus a passive. So being able to weave those secondary abilities in is very important, because I think you can only really recast it for like 3 seconds on each of those abilities. But that's enough time to get both auto attacks off and then a recast. So it just takes some timing. But yeah, it's very important that you get those hits. Otherwise, you're not doing dick for damage if you're not.
All right.
So let's move down to his Q, the Sonic Wave / Resonating Strike. So Sonic Wave has a cooldown of 10 to 6 seconds. I didn't realize it had a quarter second cast time. I guess I always thought it was kind of instant, but I guess quarter second is more or less instant. So effect radius is 400, and it is a quick moving missile at 1800 missile speed. So Active. Lee Sin fires a sonic blast in the target direction that deals physical damage to the first enemy hit and marks them for 3 seconds, during which they are revealed. While the target is marked, Lee Sin can cast Resonating Strike. Just a quick note before I move on. The fact that he reveals enemies is hyper important. This is why he's so good at being an early game jungler, and he's such a counter to champions like Evelynn, or like a Twitch jungle, or anybody that relies on even Talon relies on the invisibility. He can sometimes catch you out if he can land that sonic wave before they turn invisible or whatever. So super important piece. Resonating Strike. Active. Lee Sin dashes to the nearby enemy marked by sonic wave. Upon arrival, he consumes the mark and deals physical damage increased by 0 to 100% based on target's missing health. It is literally scaling 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and so on percent.
Yeah, 1% per 1% of target's missing health. Yep.
Right. Okay. So, the physical damage on Sonic Wave is 55 to 155 plus 110% bonus AD. You will double that if they're at 100% and you activate Resonating Strike. The max physical damage you can get on Resonating Strike is 110 to 310 plus 220% bonus AD. So you can effectively get triple the amount of damage by hitting both parts on a target that is sub 10% health.
And I mean, I feel like if you're hitting someone that's sub 10% health, your first Q is going to kill them.
You hope. You certainly fucking hope.
No, yeah, I love it. I love that you're just able to check, like, with the Q, giving the being able to reveal. You can just check brushes like that, no problem.
Right.
This is one of those abilities where you hit the first part, you have to go in. It doesn't even matter how many people you're gonna fly into. You have to take the Q.
Peace
okay?
and syndrome.
You gotta take Q part 2.
My body's telling me no.
Yeah. But my body... Yeah,
or my mind is telling me no. Sorry, I don't know the fucking words. I fucked it up.
You don't. But no, but my body... Yeah. You
Yes.
have to take it. It's like... It's the unspoken rule. You just... Go. I don't know.
It's the go button. You land the Q and you go in. Is that kind of like Ezreal talking about the unspoken law of archaeology? Finders
Maybe.
keepers.
Sure.
All right. Well, tell us about the W. The W.
Safeguard and Iron Will. So let's see. Cost is 50 energy. Cooldown 12 seconds. Cast time none. Target range 700. Speed is 1350 plus 100% movement speed. Okay. Active Lee Sin dashes to the target's allied location. If the ally is a champion upon arrival, both they and Lee Sin gain a shield for 2 seconds, and Safeguard's cooldown is halved. Lee Sin can self-cast Safeguard to shield himself. After Safeguard is cast, Lee Sin can cast Iron Will within the next 3 seconds. And then Iron Will and Cripple can be cast during the dash. And then Iron Will active, Lee Sin gains Lifesteal and Spell Vamp for 4 seconds. Okay. So that second part is really important, again, because with his passive, you get the attack speed, and that's going to help him a lot with the Spell Vamp. Okay.
Right.
So the shield strength is 50 to 250 with an 80% AP ratio, and then the vamp, the bonus drain is 5 to 27%. That's
a lot.
It is a lot. I feel like it's weird. Obviously, you're not building AP on Lee. The shield doesn't do that much, but I swear to God, there have been times where that fucking shield has saved my ass.
It saves someone from being ignited, from dying to ignite or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, exactly.
The other thing I like about Iron Will that I don't know if a lot of people know, but a common, it's not the only way, but a common build on Lee Sin is to go Gore Drinker. And you can actually proc Spell Vamp off of the Thirsting Strike, I believe. So that's kind of cool too. Well, I guess it's not Spell Vamp. Well, I guess it is Spell Vamp, but I guess you get on your abilities as well too. So I think that's kind of cool as well. I was peeking at, there is technically old Lee Sin that I didn't catch at the bottom here under all the quotes, but it was in closed beta and never actually made it to live. and was
Oh,
overridden.
son of a bitch.
I didn't see this, and it's very quick. What we'll do is run through all the skills, because this is such a totally different fucking play style, and
We'll
we'll
do
come
this at
back
the
and run
end.
through all these. But I
Okay.
did just want to drop that knowledge because I happened to peek. I wanted to actually, what I was looking for is to see if he had any old ability icons, because he's had these ability icons forever, and they kind of look dated, but they also kind of just fit. And that's how I stumbled across those. So,
Yeah, last thing I'll say about the W. This is his mobility ability, like, ward hops, whatever, getting fucking super mobile, really annoying. And just really 80% AP ratio, man. They tease you. They
that's a
want you to
lot.
build some kind of AP.
Right.
Fuck.
I know they
No,
kind of
don't
do.
do
They're
it.
like, oh yeah, build a. Well,
He's
back in
not
the
a sport.
day, Gunblade existed, I guess, and you might have been able to get away with it. Maybe I might have punched you in the nuts if you built it, but
Maybe.
you know.
All right.
Um, okay, so let's move down to the E Tempest. You know what you could build on him if you really wanted to play Lee Sin support is
Okay.
Mandate,
Could get the okay.
because you can proc it. I'll tell you why in just a second. Tempest. Active, Lee Sin smashes the ground beneath him, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies, marking them for 4 seconds, and if they are not invisible when struck, revealing them for the same duration. If Tempest hits an enemy, Lee Sin can cast Cripple within the next 3 seconds after a 0.1 second delay. Cripple, active, Lee Sin sends a wave to nearby enemies marked by Tempest, which slows them for 4 seconds, decaying over the duration. And that is what I'm talking about with the Mandate. You get some damage on that ability that you wouldn't normally have on the second half, and it creates a mark that can be popped. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying it's a thing that could happen. Tempest deals magic damage. It scales off of AD. It's 35 to 155 plus 100% AD. Cripple slows by 20 to 80% based on rank. Not much to say here other than if you're trying to catch somebody before they go invisible, this is a good ability to use on like a Teemo before he goes invisible, but it will not reveal. So the Q is for the reveal. The E will help you keep vision.
I think he maxes second. Let's have
I
see.
think if you're playing lane Lee Sin, you max this first, just because you need the AOE for wave clear.
Right. I think playing jungle, you're gonna max Q and then
Yeah.
E.
Yeah,
and
because
W.
you need Q to move around the map.
Okay. Yeah, that's 80% slow is like nothing to fucking like sleep on. That can be
Right.
pretty big. We know Lee Sin's mainly an early game champion, but like he offers something at least at the end of the day, like late
Right.
game. For
Right.
80% cripple or slow, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to his ultimate Dragon's Rage. Lee Sin roots the target enemy over the cast time, then roundhouse kicks them to deal physical damage and knock them back up to 800 units over zero point 0.8 seconds, rendering them airborne for 1 second. Enemies that collide with the displaced enemy while it is airborne take the same damage plus bonus physical damage and are knocked up for 1 second. Physical damage is 175 to 625 plus 200% bonus AD, and then the collision physical damage is the same plus 12 to 18% of the primary target's bonus health. So yeah, you want to try to kick this into a bunch of people. You want to go bowling, right? You want to make sure you're kicking that motherfucker straight into them. Or
Yes.
you want to be, if you're kicking a tank too. If you kick a fucking tank into the enemy carry, they're gonna get shit on. They're gonna take so much fucking damage. But I mean, of course, you can ward hop, and if you wanna try to catch someone out, and you can kick them back towards your team. That's the other. So really, a lot of like diverse play styles with this dude.
I think that's why he's hella relevant, right? Is like you can kick the frontliner out of the way and knock people up. You can go from behind and kick the backliner to the front line and maybe knock people up. You can avoid kicking anybody until you get a good flank, and you want to kick someone across a team fight. You can do that. I mean, you have so many different ways to play that, and you have so many different ways to move around the map, whether it's hopping to a friendly, to a ward, to a minion, using the Q to hop to an enemy to reposition. I think that is like the key to his relevance, and that's why he's remained pretty much unchanged. Besides some fixes here and there to kind of update his abilities, whether it's like I think they recently the resource regen on his passive. I think they added it or they increased it. I don't remember, but I think that was right before Worlds last time. Because a lot of energy champions have a hard time recouping their energy unless they, it's X, Y, or Z thing to get that energy back. So his is obviously just land the passive hits. But,
yeah, and I mean, I was gonna say like a pretty sick combo. I don't know, like if you're trying to like 1v1 someone too. I know it's like really tempting to just kick them right off the way, but like if you're like in melee range, hit them with a Q, get your second auto attacks off, from your passive, then kick them, and then you could Q again, so you're still locked onto them, and you could follow them up after the Dragon's Rage.
right.
I know a lot of people, or like if you're fighting in lane, just kick them towards a wall, and they just go straight up in the air, and they can't do shit. It's so annoying for them to deal with.
I kind of forgot about the Q Alt Q. That's such a good combo.
Yeah, Q Alt Q exactly, and of course cripple, and they can't fucking move afterwards.
Right. I think you can cast cripple while you're moving in
Q.
Q. Yeah. So kind of
good,
disgusting. So
good combos.
okay, let's check out this old PC.
Yeah,
These are very very quick, so I'll just go through all these real fast. Yeah. His old passive is called Sight Unseeing. It just says Lee Sin can see stealth units near him. That's pretty.
That is fucking broken.
Also, this looks like this is where traditional Lee Sin came from because he has long hair and he's shirtless. So,
right.
Okay. Now, it says there's a new and old, and it looks like they're saying that what was written in the game files versus what was written on the tooltips was a little bit different. So I'm just gonna read the new.
Yeah.
So his Q was called Flurry. Active Lee Sin launches into a flurry of slashes, striking randomly 4 times, each dealing 80% total AD physical damage. Looks like he's kind of got a claw, so maybe he was more of a claw fighter, I don't know, Tiger Stance kind of champion. Mm-hmm. Actually, which would make sense when we come back to talk about Muay Thai. His W is called Iron Fist. Active Lee Sin's next basic attack deals bonus physical damage and stuns for 3/4 of a second. Cooldown decreases with level, it says. His E was called Way of Agility. It had a passive, which states Lee Sin gains increased bonus movement speed, 3 to 7%. It had a toggle. It says switch between increased crit strike chance or dodge chance.
Dodge chance.
Crit strike chance was 3 to 15%. Dodge chance was 4 to 20%. So that tells you how old this was, because dodge doesn't exist unless you're fucking Neela or Jax.
Bro, it was all about running that 1% dodge chance.
It was worth it.
That one auto attack that you dodge could make the difference.
That auto attack could have been a crit that would have killed you, but you dodged it instead. Finally, and this one is interesting, his ulti was called Unleash the Beast.
Okay, active. That might be a contender to one of the worst fucking names. Obviously, it's not in the game anymore, but like Unleash the Beast.
It reminds me of Split. That's what I'm getting from this.
Okay.
It says active. Lee Sin spawns a clone of himself. The Beast gains benefits from Way of Agility. Activates Iron Fist when you cast it, and will flurry when you cast it. Lasts up to 60 seconds. Why Lee Sin had a clone, I have no idea.
Bro, they had no fucking idea what they wanted to do with this champion at the time.
No.
Holy shit.
He apparently had 2 other abilities with nothing attached to him. It says, or no, that's the Blinding Strike. That's a different... No, I guess no. But yeah, Blinding Strike and Exploit Weakness. So, who knows what the fuck those did. I will tell you, though, his old skin isn't as bad as some of the old skins. Like his old splash art. Not as bad as some of the old splash arts have been in the past.
Yeah, not too bad.
Let's see. I'm just looking through some of his other old splash art. I remember his first Dragon Fist. I actually kind of liked it. It was very Bruce Lee.
Yeah, no, it looks like he's like on a movie set. It looks
right.
Sick as fuck.
Right. That's what I've always liked that one. And then obviously his current Dragon Fist is good. And there was I didn't even know there was a April Fool's version of Classic Lee Sin that had Earth in it. So that's kind of cool. But Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, so I think we just got to get to the question. The question. And it's actually kind of a tough one. He's got a lot of skins.
Oh yeah, I think either Muay Thai
Yeah.
or fuck. I really like Knockout. Muay Thai Knockout. Oh, Pool Party's so fucking good with the coconut.
I was
Remember
gonna
that
say
Trick 2G fucking clip where he's just like he's sipping on his pina colada, and dropping that fucking coconut. Oh
It's
my
so
god!
good.
If you guys have never seen that, just look up. I'm not gonna play it, but I can't remember what it's called. It's just like Trick 2G Lee Sin. Is this it? Let's see. Is it the? Hold on.
GG, maybe it's
no,
Pool Party Lee Sin.
it's the Gripix Maximum Disrespect Lee Sin.
That's so
It's this
funny.
one right here. It's so fucking good. Just watch that. The Pool Party one's really good. I do like Storm Dragon. Excuse me.
I was gonna say, I think if I went through all of his skins and picked out the ones that I thought were good, away from the ones I didn't think were good, I'd be looking at traditional, Dragon Fist, Muay Thai, Pool Party. I do like his SKT one, although I don't think it's. I don't usually care for the team ones as being the best ones, you know. Knockout was really good. I don't care for Godfist that much. I felt like it was just like a souped up knockout, so like whatever. Prefer knockout over that. Storm Dragon is also on the list, and those are the skins I would choose from for being his best. And if I had to pick, I'm kind of between Storm Dragon and Dragon Fist.
Alright.
And
I think I always use Muay Thai. I just like his walking animation in that skin.
I like that skin because he's got some of the best references, right? Like Dragon Fist is a Bruce Lee reference. Muay Thai is Sagat from Street Fighter. Literally outfit, fighting stance, and so when I bring up the Tiger Strike on his old flurry, that reminds me of. It's like I wonder if that has to do with Sagat, because Sagat was always what is it, like Tiger Kick or something like that. He was all like Tiger this, Tiger that, or whatever. So it's very, very good skin, and you're right, the walking animation is really good.
It
as
just
he
looks
walks.
sick as fuck.
That's the one where he walks and like kind of hits his elbows sometimes, and then he like
Yeah,
props
he's
that
like
foot up.
warming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I like Dragon Fist because the yellow chroma is the classic Bruce Lee outfit, and I love it. So that's all I gotta say about Lee Sin, dude.
Yep. Let's yeah. So let's moving on over to Brand. Let's
Brandy
see what
Boo.
Chat GPT. I swear to God, if it's he's in the popular game of League of Legends. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, he is.
Brand is a popular mage champion in League of Legends. Why don't you check out what his pick rate is while I'm reading this, if he's that popular.
I will do that right now.
Brand is a popular mage champion in League of Legends who is known for his high burst damage and area of effect abilities. He is a versatile champion that can be played in various roles such as mid lane and support. His playstyles revolve around dealing significant magic damage and setting enemies on fire with his passive ability, Blaze. Brand's abilities are designed to deal massive AoE damage, making him a potent champion in teamfights. His passive ability, Blaze, causes enemies to take damage over time and spread to nearby enemies, making him especially effective against groups of enemies. His Q ability, Seer, can stun enemies and set them up for his other abilities. His W ability, Pillar of Flame, deals damage to all enemies in its radius, making it great for clearing minion waves or dealing damage to groups of enemies. Man, it really wants us to know it's great, and he's great in team fights. His E, Conflagration, can ignite enemies that are ablaze, already ablaze, dealing additional damage and spreading blaze. Oh my god.
Blade.
It just makes me think of Dodgeball. Blaze.
Blade. Blazer.
Blazer. His ultimate ability, Pyroclasm, is a bouncing fireball that deals damage and spreads blaze to nearby enemies. Overall, Brand's playstyle revolves around using his abilities to deal massive amounts of damage, spread blaze to enemies, and take advantage of his passive ability to deal additional damage over time. He is a champion that can be played in various roles, and his versatility and high damage output make him a popular pick in League of Legends.
Say Blaze one more time, dude.
Blaze.
Okay.
Oh my god. They
Plat-
fucking I got trolled. Holy shit. Okay, what's the pick rate?
Plat Plus, he's got a 2.4% pick rate and a 1.34% ban rate. In
Man, he is
Gold Plus,
popular.
he is 3.46 pick rate and 2.79% ban rate. I don't know that he's like obviously if you look at it a metric of pick and ban rate, he's not that popular. But I think a lot of people recognize like, there's always the possibility of there being a brand, which I think is what makes him a popular champion in that regard.
Very annoying champion.
Very fucking annoying. Like, extremely fucking annoying. So.
So, yeah.
He does
Alright,
have
let's-
a past version, but it's not that much different. So. That'll probably be something to blaze through.
Oh my god.
See what I did there?
Stop it. Okay. Yeah, let's fuck it. I mean, it from just scrolling through, it looks like they
They're
added
more or
some
less the
stuff.
same, but yeah, they're
Fuck it.
slightly different. So. Cool.
All right. So passive, our favorite word, blaze. Old passive. Brand's ability set his targets ablaze upon damaging them, dealing 8% of the target's maximum health over 4 seconds as magic damage, and empowering his abilities against them. The damage is capped at 320 against monsters, because that would be fucking broken if you dealt
Jungle
8%
Branskis.
of Baron's fucking health.
Right. Right.
So yeah, pretty straightforward ability. And then his current passive is also blaze. So innate. Brand's abilities apply a stack of Ablaze to enemies hit for 4 seconds, refreshing on subsequent applications and stacking up to 3 times. Subsequent abilities used against a target with Ablaze are empowered. Killing an enemy afflicted with Ablaze or with an ability restores 20 to 40 based on level mana. That I know is relatively new.
Yes, that was the push to try to put it in mid lane, right?
Right. Ablaze. While afflicted with Ablaze, the target is dealt magic damage equal to 2.5% of their maximum health over 3 1/4 seconds. Ablaze deals 120% damage per tick to monsters capped at 80. So it does a lot less damage, but it ticks a little bit better. Like the
Sure.
bleed.
Sure.
Called a bleed dot, whatever.
Yeah, the dot.
Upon applying 3 stacks of Ablaze to a large monster or enemy champion, the fire becomes unstable, forming an area around the target that grants sight and explodes after 2 seconds, consuming all stacks. All enemies within the detonation are dealt magic damage equal to 9 to 13% based on level of their maximum health, plus 2% per 100 AP, and applied a stack of Blaze. The explosion will occur if the target dies to the ability, applying the 3rd stack, or during the delay. Brand cannot stack a Blaze more than once on enemies who have exploded in the last 4 seconds. I cannot tell you how many fucking times, especially in ARAM, where
People
dumb
just run next
motherfuckers
to you.
have that fucking... Yeah, they walk next to you. I'm like, bro, you can see it. You see when it detonates. Get the fuck away from me.
That's like people running by you with the Triss bomb on their head or a zillion bombs. Like, go away. Don't sit next to me, you fucking idiot. Yeah, it's...
Obviously much better. They gave him a little bit more agency rather than just like, oh, you're on fire now.
Right.
It also just gives him so much fucking burst damage too. Like, and
Which he
we'll
needed.
get to his ulti, but
Right.
what was that?
So which he needed. He needed burst damage. I mean, that was very important to add to his kit as you wanted him to be a high damage mage, but what he would do in the past was he'd like cast W then E and just get the fire on you to sit there and just burn you, which was annoying, but like he didn't really have a lot of burst potential outside of his ulti, and so they said that doesn't really work for us. So adding that unstable fire piece is really nice, I think. A nice and welcome addition. Definitely gave you some better playability, some more things to play around, and gives brand players a way to int, trying to get that 3rd stack and just getting blown up instead. But it gives them something to play for other than just setting the enemy on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fucking nice in team fights. Just so much
Yes.
AoE that's just spreading every fucking where.
Yes, as fires do.
Yep.
Very
All
thematically correct. So, all right, let's move down to the Q, Seer. Let me start with the old Q, which was also called Seer. Active, Brand launches a fireball in the target direction that deals magic damage to the first enemy it hits. If the target is under Blaze, the target is also stunned for 2 seconds. It dealt 80 to 240 plus 65% AP magic damage. Current iteration of Seer. Brand launches a fireball in the target direction that deals magic damage to the first enemy hit. A Blaze bonus. The target is stunned for 1.5 seconds. So that's a big difference on the stun. You're talking a half second. That's a world of a difference. Think about Morgana. She stuns you for 69 years. The current magic damage is 80 to 200 with a 55% AP ratio. So not a huge difference. More or less the same ability.
I mean, you're using this just for the stun.
Yeah, that's
more or less.
Or to farm a minion and get your mana back.
What is a map specific stun? Okay, that's Earth. I was trying to see.
That makes sense. That's for Earth too.
Okay, details. Not that interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Pillar of Flame. Old Pillar of Flame. After a 0.625 second delay, Brand erupts the target area in flames, dealing magic damage to enemies within. And then the Blaze passive Pillar of Flame deals 25% additional damage. Magic damage was 75 to 255 with a 60% AP ratio. And then the increased damage is, 25% more. So it is 93.75 to 318.75 plus 75% AP ratio. And then current Pillar of Flame, after a 6.27 second delay, Brand erupts a Pillar of Flame at the target location that deals magic damage to enemies hit. A Blaze bonus is the same, 25% increased damage. And is the damage the same? Yep, it is.
Yep.
Damage is exactly the same.
One of the things I noticed immediately was the scaling cooldown that they added to the ability.
Right.
And the slightly dropped mana cost. But beyond that, it's the same ability.
It's good. What was the, let's see, effective radius 260. It's a pretty decent range. If you can land this on a fucking in team fight, like a couple people hurdle together, and then we're about to get to his E here in a second, which is also really good paired with this. But yeah, let's talk about the E.
E, Conflagration. Active, Brand sets the target enemy aflame, dealing magic damage. Pretty straightforward. Blaze, Conflagration also spreads to enemies around the target. Magic damage was 70 to 210 with a 55% AP ratio. Currently, active, Brand sets the target enemy aflame, which creates a blast that deals magic damage to them and nearby enemies. Blaze bonus. Conflagration's spread range is doubled. So in the past, you had to have them on fire for it to spread. Otherwise, it just affected one enemy. Now it spreads, but if they're on fire, you spread further.
Man, this I want to say that's relatively a new.
I think so.
A new addition, like maybe within the last year, because again they were trying to push him mid lane rather than support, because his wave clear is insane.
It is. The magic damage currently is 70. Excuse me. 70 to 170 plus 45% AP. So.
Okay, they added it in season 10, so 3 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
I know that when you're playing mid lane Brand, I think you max this second after Pillar.
Yeah.
And you could just drop it on a wave, and if you want to drop it on a wave, you could drop it on the back half of a wave, and you can go EW to get the 25% bonus damage, or you go WE to spread the fire. So you have some different uses that work well with each other, So.
All right, and then finally, let's get to his ulti Pyroclasm. Old ulti, active, Brand launches a fireball at the target enemy that bounces between nearby enemies up to 4 times, dealing magic damage each time. If Pyroclasm's current target becomes invalid, it selects a new enemy at no cost to its remaining bounces. If its initial target becomes invalid and there are no other valid targets, Pyroclasm refunds its cost and resets its cooldown. Pyroclasm's next bounce prioritizes enemy champions if they are ablaze. Magic damage was 150 to 350 with a 50% AP ratio. And then the current Pyroclasm, Brand launches a fireball at the target enemy that bounces between nearby enemies and Brand Brand. That's the first thing to notice.
Right.
Up to 4 times, dealing magic damage to enemies each time. Pyroclasm prioritizes the blazed enemy champions then other enemy champions, then any valid bounce targets, then brands. Because before it'd be really annoying if it just starts going between fucking minions.
Right. You're like, what the fuck
And,
is this shit?
Yeah. The target does not have to be visible for the fireball to bounce them. And then the ablaze bonus, the target is slowed for a quarter second. This can affect the same enemy more than once. Magic damage was 100 to 300 with a 25% AP ratio, and then the total single target damage is 300 to 900 with a 75% AP ratio.
Are we not going to get a slow ratio?
What's up?
Are we not going to get a slow ratio?
I know, it doesn't tell me.
Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like, come on.
No, you're right.
We don't get any detail. I didn't even know it's slowed. We have no details on that.
Yeah. It's also... Did it say in the passive? No, it doesn't even say that, like, the ulti can stack the passive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it bounces back to them. It doesn't say that.
No.
Man, we're missing some info here, lol wiki. Come on.
Right. I'm looking to see if there's anything in the details. There's nothing about the slow in the details, so... I will say the slow becomes a moot. If you build him right and you build your Rylai's first, the slow doesn't matter. But,
Yeah, it's like, if you should be building an item. I mean, you can build a mid lane, but I mean, if you're playing support, I'd probably build that first. It's just free. Just
free
hit
slow.
E on anybody. Boom.
You can control the wave with that. You can control the enemy champions. You could be less gankable. You have a whole range of things, a whole range of reasons why you should build Rylai's first, and then think about whatever burn item you want to use. And consequently, it's also why it's his highest win rate build.
Let's see what his old splash art looked like. Okay, old one kind of looked okay.
The old one, they had him wearing, if you remember in the movie The Mask, that is the Loki mask.
Oh, I did not know that.
That is, I don't know if it's intentionally the Loki mask, but is definitely the Loki mask. And if you played God of War Ragnarok, that is the Loki mask in that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always thought that was interesting. I did find it hilarious because I always forget that the mask was actually the Loki mask. And then you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense when you think about it. But I don't think it is actually like part of his trivia or anything like that. It's just something that I always notice. I'm like, why does he have the Loki mask?
Right.
Oh, wait, hold on. Another little fun fact. Dumb fun fact, but his host, because Brand is actually like a what is he? He's like an
entity?
Yeah, sentient entity. And he's not the fire dude that's shown. He like is the fire, if that makes sense. And he took over a Freljordian named Keegan Road or Keegan Rhodey.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. I just always thought that was
name.
Funny. It seems so like modern and common that it's like, why is that in this game?
I do remember. I think Rise was actually like with him, and was like,
I think
he was
so.
Training him.
Yeah,
and then he turns on Rise or Brand, whenever he comes forth, like tries to kill Rise.
Oh, you know what? This says here. The name Keegan is based on a Gaelic patronymic Mac Aldhagen. I don't know the fuck to say that. It probably is pronounced Keegan.
Say it again.
Mac Aldhagen. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, which means to burn. So it's like the son of fire. So like raised to burn, which is like son of fire by coincidence, which is probably why they chose the name Keegan for it. Just to like, yeah, this guy is going to be a fire demon. Anyways.
All right, Skin.
You know,
I know what it is.
Like Zombie is probably, objectively, Zombie's probably his best one, right? I just really like Cryocore because I like Mr. Freeze. I really enjoy playing Cryocore and just telling everybody chill.
Man, I like Vandal because it kind of looks
Vandal's
silly.
good.
Kind of like
good.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's definitely Ghost Rider.
I like that.
Apocalyptic is the very Fallout. I don't care for Battle Boss, really. I prefer Spirit Fire over Battle Boss.
Spirit Fire's cool, definitely.
Eternal Dragon, I never really play, so I don't even really know what that looks like.
He looks like Lee Sin.
He kind of does.
I don't know.
And then I don't...
Debonair,
it's okay.
I don't know what happened to that skin line.
Yeah, that became... They did a Debonair what they did to...
High Noon?
Yeah, High Noon. I was going to call it Wild West, but yeah.
And same thing with Mafia Crime City. All the new crime cities are like spirits and like demons and stuff. I'm like, what?
Right.
We get it. Right, we get it. You love spooky things.
Well, you know what happened is they forgot what killed the dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
The Ice Age!
Are you telling me does Arnold Schwarzenegger just come in and do a whole voiceover?
I wish he did a voiceover for Cryocore brand. That is, I mean, it's Victor Freeze. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I know.
But what else? I gotta think of some other quotes from that movie from Mr. Freeze.
Here, let's see, so we can wrap it up. Mr. Freeze quotes.
Is that Batman and Robin?
Yeah. Oh god, one of the worst movies ever. Ran loves that movie, though.
Oh, dude, that movie is.
It was good. It was
awfully
good
great. Yeah, it's awfully great. It's like it almost gets to the point where it's so bad that it's good.
Let's see how I'm looking. Allow me to break the ice.
Allow me to break the ice.
Cool party. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Freeze well.
You're not sending me to the cooler. Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. Man, I wonder if he made these up.
Hold on. In this universe, there's only one absolute. Everything freezes.
All right. Yeah, okay, we're a little off the rails, but
God.
So what do you think? Either zombie. Oh, you like Cryocore? Do you like Cryocore more than zombie?
Zombie's probably his best. The only thing I hate about zombie,
the sound.
Yes.
Like it's a little too much.
God damn it! Like I hate that he does that. He's like in his regular skin, but like in zombie, it's like extra fucking annoying. Like, god damn it. So, but I think zombie, like the way he walks and like what did he say, every day I'm shambling. Yeah, and his footprints and shit. That's really good. It's really a well done skin. I wish they would give the splash art some love and kind of update it a little bit. But I think it's a really good one.
Agreed. And
that should take us to the end of this one. So,
yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I do want to know what your favorite skins are for both these champions because there's a plethora of good ones, especially for Lee Sin. But I think Brand has some good ones as well, and I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are. So please, comments, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, drop your thoughts on your favorite skin for these two champions, and stick around for a possible stream coming up this weekend, and want to get some more gameplay with you guys as well, and if we can get some commentating, I don't know. If we can commentate for some of your games again, those are fun. People seem to love watching those clips as well, so I would love to gather more of those to put out for you guys. So other than that,
yep, that is it. Tyler already said everything. Just everything you need to know is in the description wherever you're listening right now. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, favorite, I don't know, do whatever you can to give us some love, guys. Next week for the champion review, we got Rumble and Vayne coming up.
Rumble and Vayne. Two interesting champions too.
Should be interesting, yeah. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for some gameplay this weekend. And come join the Discord. Make sure you can find out when we're live and come play some games with us. Other than that, we'll be back next week, 13.10. The whole meta is going to take a shit on itself. Can't wait. So we will we'll see you when we see you.
Later, y'all.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Click right here to see the previous episode of the According to Low Elo podcast. Click right here to see the most recent gameplay video. Thanks again.